Adding to what I was saying earlier too, about just smoking weed, and weed is also a crutch too. Weed is the better between two evils, though. I'll give it that. But at the same time too, most people do not need weed the way they needed weed. I figured that out after seeing antipsychotics. That I do not need weed the way that I think that I needed weed back in the past. There's plenty of moments where I was accepting less from my life. I was either depressed or I was in a shitty position, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go smoke weed so I can feel better about myself or feel better about my situation. When it's like, why the fuck would you do that though? Like as a kid, I couldn't see it. I thought I needed it, but I opened my own eye, and took from my own experiences, and yeah, maybe a few other people guiding me along the way though, but mainly me, because if they could guide me all they want, but if I did not want to see it, I would have never saw it. But at the same time too, it took me seeing that myself to realize I was relying on weed way too much. There's plenty of times where I was just sad or depressed, and then instead of fixing my situation or trying to find better alternatives to the problem, I just go smoke weed, feel good again for a few hours, then go back to feeling bad. And think about it really like this though. Really like this, really like this. If they're sneaking fentanyl into our shit, imagine all the other shit they're sneaking into weed that they're not telling us. Like, that's not even paranoid schizophrenic conspiracy. Think about it. If random people are dying from fentanyl overdoses from smoking weed and pills and all that shit, imagine the other shit they're sneaking into it. Even the distillery or whatever dispensary is not safe, because if you think about it though, that's backhanded by the government. Imagine all the shit they're putting into that. If they're putting crazy shit into our food, they're definitely putting crazy shit into the weed you buy at the dispensaries. People aren't knowing. They're thinking the weed is good, but the weed has maybe slight antipsychotics, slight fentanyl, slight different things to get you coming back for more, to think you need it, or to give you other health effects down the line. Why is everybody the government super, oh yeah, weed is a good thing now, when in the past they hated weed because weed actually did help back in the day, but now they fucked it up so much that now it's really not good at all. So that's what I'm saying, is like, what's going on is like, weed isn't the answer either. It took me a while to figure that out. It's good here and there. It's good to open your mind here and there, but it's not the complete answer. You cannot rely on weed just how you cannot rely completely on antipsychotics. There's other things out there that will help you out, and weed is not it. They're definitely putting shit in the weed. And if you really want to smoke weed, then just grow it yourself, honestly. Put in the extra work, grow it yourself. You know, get the strands you like, manipulate it, learn how to do that shit so you could get that shit to get the perfect high that you like every single time, rather than relying on other people that you don't even know what they're putting in your drugs to get high. I wouldn't say I was stupid, but I was naive back then, and so were a lot of other people my age. Grow that shit yourself if you're in a position to grow it yourself, for real, for real. Weed is not good to be smoking all the time. This really changed my stance. I used to be anti-weed back in the day. They got me hooked on purpose by doing some shady ass shit to get me on weed. Pretty sure most of the time I wasn't even smoking weed. And now I'm not anti-weed again. I understand it. And if I was in a safe environment to do it, I'd still do it to in manageable though. It would not be how it was every day, multiple times a day. It may be like a few times a week now, to where I could feel good on my natural energy most of the time, or maybe every once in a blue moon, but it would not go back to how it was back then. It'd probably be like how I drink alcohol, where when I drink alcohol, it's every once in a blue moon. It's not all the time. Weed is not that good for you if you think about it, especially the stuff they're putting in it. But yeah, that's just what I just had to say and get off my chest real quick.